Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of When the Whistle Blows by Fran Slayton. Dedication and foreword read by the author. Performed by Peter Berkrot.
Hello, this is Fran Slayton. To Dad and Mom and the town of Rowlesburg, West Virginia, with all my love. Forward. I am very fortunate to have a father who told me stories when I was growing up. Dad's stories weren't make-believe. They were about things that really happened when he was a kid, which made them doubly fascinating. He told me tales of death and glory surrounding the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, and he told me about his father, my grandfather, whom I never met because he died when my dad was just a teen, who was the foreman of the B&O in Rowlesburg in the 1940s. He told me about how he swam in the Cheat River, about the pranks he and his buddies pulled on each other, and about how the dieselization of the railroad led to the decline of his hometown, which had once been so vibrant with life and work and industry. All these stories noodled around in my brain as I grew up, and my frequent visits to Rowlesburg as a child gave me the chance also to swim in the Cheat and to listen to the sounds of the engines as they chugged their way through Rowlesburg. But I knew the swimming hole I swam in wasn't quite as deep as it had been for my father, and I was hearing the tinny horns of diesels instead of the deep whistles of the old steam engines. As a result, I developed nostalgia for a time and circumstance I'd never known myself, but that I had accessed through my father's memories, and I loved it. Although this book is set in 1940s Rowlesburg, the events described are fictional, as are its characters. I have, however, named some of the characters after members of my family, in their honor, and a few of the stories were indeed inspired by some of the tales my father shared with me when I was a child. Fiction has been described as the lie that tells the truth. Many of the facts and much of the regional history in this book, dieselization, the addition to the M&K Junction, and the shutting down of the Mannheim cement plant, for example, are true events, although I have rearranged them at times to serve story over fact. I have found this necessary not only to maintain the narrative structure I've chosen, but also to be able to cut through mere fact to arrive, I hope, at a story that points to an even greater truth. Fran Slayton, Charlottesville, Virginia.
When the Whistle Blows. Steam trains. Every time I go to jump on a steam train as it chugs its way through Rowlesburg, every time I throw out my hands to grab the rusty metal rungs and haul myself up onto the side of one of them black hole cars, hoisting my knees up over its churning, screeching wheels, every single time I jump on a train, my heart thumps even noisier in my ears than the clanking of the old iron horse I'm hopping up onto. I love steam trains. I love living in a town that's chock full of them. I love being on them, being anywhere near them. They're as much a part of my life around here as the mountains, or breathing. But it's a dangerous business hopping a ride onto a moving train. First off, there's always a right decent chance of getting killed. Second, and about 10,000 times worse, my father might find out. But I'm not like Dad. I don't mind breaking the rules now and again. So risky as it is, I hop on a train anytime I have the chance. Because once I'm on a train, my heartbeat settles down to the steady pounding rhythm of the tracks, and I know I'm right where I belong. And when I close my eyes and let the rush of wind blow back my hair, I know that, like my brother Bill, like my father, my grandfather, and all my kinfolk going all the way back to when we Cannons first came over from Ireland, I am going to be a railroader one day. No matter what Dad says. My dad's the foreman of the railroad here in Rowlesburg, and he doesn't want me nowhere.